Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Ridge versus Bill on B&B. The hypocrisy is off the charts. If ever there were two men on the bold and the beautiful who should not be throwing stones from their elegant, ocean view glass mansions, it's Ridge Forrester and Bill Spencer. Yet here we are again, watching them square off, arms crossed, voices booming, each convinced he alone is the moral compass of Los Angeles. The irony is so thick you could print couture gowns out of it at Forrester Creations. Their latest clash proves one thing beyond all doubt. Nobody on this show does hypocrisy quite like Ridge and Bill. Two alpha kings, zero self-awareness. Ridge walks into every conversation like his last name came with divine authority. If he says something is right, it just is. End of discussion. And Bill, the man wears ruthlessness like a designer scarf, proudly. He'll bulldoze a city block or a marriage if it gets him what he wants. Both of them have spent years tearing lives apart. Yet now they each claim the moral high road. That road must be paved with gold and delusion. Ridge's favorite move is righteous indignation. He acts like his decades of waffling between women. Brooke, Taylor, Brooke again, somehow grants him wisdom about other people's relationships. Meanwhile, Bill is out here accusing everyone else of manipulation, conveniently forgetting the times he's blackmailed, bribed, threatened, or seduced his way through Los Angeles. One could argue that these men are two sides of the same diamond. Sharp, expensive, and likely to cut you. Brooke, the forever battleground. Let's be honest, every fight between Ridge and Bill circles back to one woman, Brooke Logan. They have both loved her, claimed her, betrayed her, and defended her in equal measure. Brooke is a brilliant career woman and a passionate lover, but Ridge and Bill act like she's a trophy who belongs to whoever shouts the loudest. Ridge says Bill destroys every woman he touches. Bill counters that Ridge throws away every woman who loves him. Both are absolutely correct and utterly blind. Ridge expects Brooke to fall into his arms every time he returns from a tantrum or a midlife crisis. Bill expects her to forget his sabotage and schemes. Neither seems to consider that Brooke can make her own decisions. The hypocrisy here is dazzling. Ridge, the moral authority? Please. Ridge never met a pedestal he didn't want to climb onto. He frames himself as the noble protector, but his track record looks more like a man who blows up his own life just to be dramatic. He judges Bill without mercy despite having faked to death, torpedoed relationships, left and right, destroyed Taylor repeatedly, sabotaged Brooke's happiness more times than anyone can count, abandoned his own kids whenever his romantic life demanded it. When Ridge calls Bill dangerous, it's hilarious. Ridge isn't exactly gentle. He just hides his ruthlessness under the guise of family values. Bill Spencer, judging others while doing the same or worse. Bill wants to be seen as the man who protects the people he loves. And yes, he loves intensely, almost violently. His loyalty is absolute until it isn't. When he wants something, nothing is sacred. Marriage? Irrelevant. Friendships? Disposable. Business ethics? Never heard of them. He judges Ridge for being impulsive. Yet this is the same man who blows up buildings, drives people off cliffs, hacks spies and schemes, sabotages marriages like it's a hobby. Bill's greatest flaw is simple. He truly believes that because he can do terrible things and mean well, he's justified. He wants others to forgive him for the intent, even if the result is a scorched life. Ridge manipulates quietly, Bill detonates loudly. Both leave wreckage. Their latest clash, a battle of delusion. This latest confrontation doesn't even require reason. Ridge and Bill could fight over who gets the last almond croissant, and it would somehow turn into a moral war. The pretense is always that one of them is defending someone, usually Brooke, Steffi, or the Forrester name. Truth? They're fighting because neither can stand the idea that the other might have more power, more influence, or Worst of all, the upper hand. Ridge sees Bill as crude and destructive. Bill sees Ridge as arrogant and hypocritical. Again, both are right. Their shouting match feels less like an argument and more like a competition over who has the shorter memory of their sins. Steffi, Liam, and the ripple effects. This patriarchal rivalry doesn't just burn Ridge and Bill. It sets fire to everyone around them. Steffi has spent years caught between their worlds. Ridge wants to protect his daughter from Bill. But part of that stance comes from raw, personal hatred, not fatherly concern. Bill, meanwhile, has a habit of using the people Ridge loves as leverage. Liam becomes a chess piece. Thomas becomes a trigger. The impact is generational and utterly exhausting. The woman they can't control. Brooke remains the sore spot, and this is where the hypocrisy shines brightest. Ridge will call Bill toxic in one breath and then run back to Brooke after destroying her trust. Bill will accuse Ridge of using Brooke like a revolving door, despite doing the same thing whenever she's single. Both men claim to love her, but neither wants to let her choose freely. They speak about her dignity, her vulnerability, her future, but rarely to her. When Brooke finally stands her ground and tells them both to back off, the earth should tremble. Because that's where the story becomes interesting, when Brooke decides she doesn't belong to either man. Two legends, one ridiculous mirror. Ridge and Bill are mirror images, powerful men blinded by ego, passion, and a selective sense of morality. Their feud is never about what's right. It's about who gets to be right. Their hypocrisy is the engine that keeps this rivalry running. Each sees the other as dangerous, manipulative, and unworthy. They never consider that the same words could be, and often are, said about them. They are titans of contradiction, fueled by desire, pride, and the inability to look in the mirror without seeing a hero reflected back. Final thoughts. Ridge Forrester and Bill Spencer are legends of the bold and the beautiful because they're flawed in spectacular, Shakespearean ways. Their love, rage, and hypocrisy are larger than life. They ruin and rebuild, destroy and defend, always convinced their cause is just. Watching them battle isn't just dramatic, it's poetic. But let's be honest. Until either of them admits that he's no better than the other, this feud will burn forever. And honestly, the hypocrisy is half the fun.